For today, we will discuss Article 115 of the Revised Penal Code. Article 115 talks about the penalty of conspiracy and proposal to commit treason. The conspiracy and proposal to commit the crime of treason shall be punished respectively by prisión mayor and a fine not exceeding 2 million pesos, and by prisión correccional and a fine not exceeding 1 million pesos. How are the crimes of conspiracy and proposal to commit treasons committed? Conspiracy to commit treason is committed when in time of war, two or more persons come to an agreement to levy war against the government, or to adhere to the enemies and give them aid or comfort, and decide to commit it. Proposal to commit treason is committed when in time of war, a person who has decided to levy war against the government or to adhere to the enemies and to give them aid or comfort proposes its execution to some other person or persons. Conspiracy or proposal as a felony. Although the general rule is that the conspiracy and proposal to commit a felony is not punishable, under Article 115, the mere conspiracy to commit treason is a felony. The mere proposal to commit treason is also a felony. Both are punishable under Article 115. Why it is punishable? Because in ordinary crime, the state survives the victim and the culprit cannot find the success of his work any impunity. Whereas, in crimes against the external and internal security of the state, if the culprit succeed in his criminal enterprise, he would obtain the power and therefore impunity for the crime committed. To understand more about Article 115, let's take a look to cases where Article 115 applies. We will understand the facts and to see whether or not the Supreme Court will rule to convict the appellant for the crime of conspiracy. The United States versus Francisco Bautista et al. With the GR number L-2189, November 3, 1906. Let's review first the elements of conspiracy to commit treason. First, in time of war. Second, the two or more persons come to an agreement to levy war against the government or to adhere to enemies and to give them aid or comfort. And 3, they decide to commit it. Elements of proposal to commit treason are: first, in time of war. Second, a person who has decided to levy war against the government or to adhere to the enemies and to give them aid or comfort. And third, proposes its execution to some other persons. In the year 1903, Prim Ruiz recognized as the head of República Universal Democrática Filipina, together with Artemio Ricarte as chief of the military forces, organized a junta and a conspiracy which entered into by a number of Filipinos in Hong Kong. Artemio Ricarte arrived in Manila through the steamship Yunsang and organized a plan and conducted multiple meetings for the perfection of the conspiracy hatched in Hong Kong. His friend Francisco Bautista aided him to his journey to Manila. Bautista was present and took part on the meetings conducted by Ricarte, whereat the plans of the conspirators were discussed and perfected. In one of their meetings, Francisco Bautista assured Ricarte that the necessary preparation had been made and that he held the people in readiness. Another appellant, Thomas Puson, who was appointed as the Brigadier General of the Revolutionary Forces, together with Jose R. Muñoz, the prime leader of the movement, who is intimate confidant of Ricarte, distributed pens and nominated and appointed certain officials. In his defense, Puson denied that he was being united with the conspirators. He did not know that Ricarte was in Manila organizing conspiracy, and he had only accepted the appointment as the Brigadier General because he did not want his friend Muñoz to get annoyed of him. At the time, Muñoz offered him the appointment, he jokingly accepted the offer. The issue of this case is that whether or not they are liable as conspirators. The Supreme Court ruled yes. Francisco Bautista took part on the meetings where the plans to overthrow the government of the United States in the Philippine Islands by force of arms discussed and perfected. He agrees to adhere with the plans and give the enemies of the state an aid and comfort in the perfection of the crime of treason. As to Thomas Puzon, the fact that he accepted the appointment is taken into consideration as evidence of his criminal relations with the conspirators. The record clearly discloses that the accused actually and voluntarily accepted the appointment in question and in doing so assumed all the obligation implied by such acceptance, and that the charge in this case is that of conspiracy. As we can see, the elements of conspiracy to commit treason were present, that the crime was committed during the war, that there was an agreement to levy war against the government by assembling men for the purpose of effecting by force a treasonable design, and to adhere to the enemies and give them aid or comfort by Bautista and Puzon, and also by attending multiple meetings involving the discussion and perfection to overthrow the government of the United States in the Philippine Islands, and they decided to commit them. The key points of these presentations are: mere agreement and decision to commit treason is punishable. Mere proposal, even without acceptance, is punishable too. If the other accepts, it is already conspiracy. While treason as a crime should be established by two-witness rule, the same is not observed when the crime committed conspiracy to commit treason, or when it is only a proposal to commit treason. Hope you learned something today. Thank you for watching!